Sir Topham Hatt's engines are proud of how useful they are. It makes them feel important, but none of them feels more important than Gordon. "Watch out," Gordon wheezed. "You'll get my paint all sooty." "Pulling freight cars is a sooty job," teased Salty, "but then you wouldn't know." "Of course not," Gordon huffed importantly. "Express engines don't pull freight cars. It wouldn't be dignified." "Dingy fried?" puzzled Percy. "What's that?" "Dignified," Gordon corrected. It means that someone's too big for his buffers," teased Salty. "Pah," said Gordon, and he puffed away. That evening, fog covered the island of Sodor. Everything slowed down, and soon the docks were packed with waiting freight cars. This caused confusion and delay. Sir Topham Hatt came to the sheds. He was in a great hurry. "Henry, Thomas, and Percy," he said, "you must go to the docks immediately." "Yes, sir," they whistled. Then Sir Topham Hatt turned to the big blue engine. "You too, Gordon," he said. "I need a big engine to take the freight cars where they won't be in the way." "Freight cars?" huffed Gordon. He could not believe what he had heard. Gordon wasn't happy to be pulling freight cars. He waited impatiently while they were shunted into place. Hurry up, chuffed Gordon crossly. "Why the rush, Gordon?" asked Thomas. "If I must pull freight cars, then I'll show Salty how an express engine pulls freight cars," Gordon huffed. "Careful, Captain," Salty tooted. "You don't want to get too big for your buffers." But Gordon ignored Salty. The next morning, Gordon raced along with his heavy load. "Now this is how you pull freight cars," he puffed. But the signalman had accidentally left the points switched to the branch line. Gordon rattled through the junction. "That's strange. I'm on the branch line." "Oh no," the signalman cried. "Express trains aren't supposed to go that way." It was too late. Gordon had already raced into the distance. The old branch line was weak and rusty. There were signs warning all the trains to go slow. But Gordon ignored the signs. "I'm an express engine. I don't go slow," he said. And he went even faster. The branch line couldn't take his weight, and the rails buckled. "Oh, help!" Gordon cried as he slid off the tracks and into a field. No one was hurt, but poor Gordon felt very undignified. "What will Sir Topham Hatt say?" he groaned. He found out soon enough. "Well, Gordon," said Sir Topham Hatt, "you wanted to show Salty a thing or two, and you've certainly done that. You've shown him how silly it is to ignore go-slow signs." "Sorry, sir," said Gordon, and he let out a sad wheesh of steam. Gordon was soon repaired and back at the docks ready for work, but he was very unhappy with himself. "Everyone makes mistakes," said Thomas. "Even you." "Salty's sorry he teased you," puffed James. "And I'm sorry I was too big for my buffers," chuffed Gordon. And all the engines gave a jolly toot. Even Gordon.
It was the end of a busy day. The engines had been working hard. They were pleased and proud. Except Henry. He was feeling ill. "What's the matter with you, Henry?" Thomas asked. "My boiler's grumbling." "Maybe it's grumbling at you." "That's not funny," hissed Henry. "You just don't care." But Emily saw that Henry was leaving a puddle of water behind. She was worried. The next morning, the Fat Controller arrived. "Thomas, Henry, Percy, I want you to collect some trucks and take them to the docks." "Yes, sir," cried Thomas and Percy. Henry watched the engines puff away. He didn't feel well. Useful engines don't complain. He was leaving water everywhere as he chuffed towards the coaling plant. When Emily saw this, she was more worried than ever. Then Thomas and Percy overtook Henry. "Hurry up, Henry!" Percy tooted. "I can't go any faster," Henry chuffed miserably. "You're just being lazy," teased Thomas. By the time Thomas and Percy reached the coaling plant, they had a naughty plan. "Please, sir, Henry wants to take more trucks." "He is bigger," added Percy. The yard manager agreed. Meanwhile, Emily was talking to the Fat Controller. "Oh, I'm worried about Henry." "Perhaps his tubes are leaking," replied the Fat Controller. "You'd better check." By the time Henry reached the coaling plant, Thomas and Percy had already left. "Why did Thomas and Percy leave me so many trucks?" moaned Henry. "They know I'm not feeling well." "We'll still have to take them," said his driver. Henry chuffed and puffed and pulled his long line of trucks. "You can do it, Henry," encouraged his driver. But it was no use. Henry ground to a halt. Just then, Emily arrived. "Are you all right, Henry?" "No," moaned Henry. "I'm stuck." Henry's fireman uncoupled the heavy coal trucks. Emily changed tracks and then hooked up to Henry. "Oh, thank you, Emily," wished Henry. Emily and Henry puffed into the docks. "Well done, Emily," said the Fat Controller. Then he spoke to Henry. "You were brave, Henry. You weren't well, but you still tried to pull the heavy trucks." Thomas and Percy felt ashamed. "We're sorry, Henry," said Thomas. "We didn't think you were really sick," added Percy. "Go back and collect Henry's trucks straight away," said the Fat Controller sternly. "Yes, sir," whispered Thomas. Soon Henry was mended and back at work. "You're looking so much better," said Emily. "Well, they've mended me tubes, but they didn't even look at me brakes, me gauges, me squeaky wheels. All in good time, Henry." Poor Henry.